A beautiful look at downtown Austin, the Colorado River, Lady Bird Lake, as we are nearby at Circuit of the Americas for Superbikes at Texas for MotoAmerica. We have already had one series conclude their championship here today. The Roland Sands Design Mission Foods Super Hooligan National Championship concludes its season with race 2. Hi everybody, I am Greg Creamer, as always joined by Roger Hayden. We have a special guest who comes in and helps us out for these, the guy who envisioned and created the Super Hooligan National Championship. That is Roland Sand himself. And of course, we have Jamie Howe down in the pit lane. And I'm not going to run the risk this time of saying that anything is comfortable down there and outside, because I don't want to offend Jamie, but it's hot, the humidity is plenty warm, and the track temperature is climbing. You can see temperatures now ambient 96, track temperature almost 115 degrees. And there we go, Larry Pegram coming out and taking a look at it here. Field is out. This is going to be a quick start, and so want to bring in the points. Obviously, championship has been decided just based on wins, but Roland, we had an incredible battle coming in here, dead even between the two teammates. McWilliams having that huge off, but what a year it's been, and Tyler earned it.
Yeah, I mean, they were out for blood yesterday.
Yes,
on that
it was
last
serious
lap.
stuff.
It was incredible. I mean, we couldn't have written the script better, but that was supposed to happen this race, not yesterday.
Yes.
They were supposed to push the championship decider to today, but unfortunately, we watched Jeremy go down yesterday in the last corner on the last lap. What a tough guy, though. He's back on the grid today.
59 years old. He's up. He's racing. Here's the starting lineup. Tyler O'Hare, Jeremy McWilliams. Because of the qualifying, he gets that front row start back. Andy DeBrino, always a threat. Corey West has been getting massive launches. And Stefano Mesa jumping up from 5th into the podium. That's a huge story in and of itself. He's AJ Peasley, Larry Pegram, Mark Price, one of the championship contenders. And there's the rest of the field. Mallory Dobbs continuing to press in this championship as well. You guys on your bikes, the Roland Sand Design bikes, had a little bit of an issue yesterday. You ready to go today?
We're going to expect to see Larry up there today, and
good.
Kyle as well. Kyle got a provisional start at the back of the grid because he didn't get a qualifying time. But we had some major gremlins. We worked through those gremlins. I hope today we're 95% sure that we fixed the problem and the guys will be on the grid racing.
That's what we want to see. Let's check in with Jamie Howe.
And as the field continues to make their way and line up down the front straightaway, I checked in with the Indian motorcycle team to see what needed to be done to that number 99 of Jeremy McWilliams. They said they stayed here late. They rebuilt that same motorcycle, put it all back together. They did do a precautionary engine change. They don't have any concerns at this point going into the race on whether or not the bike is good. Jeremy, he said he's ready to race. Yes, he is sore. Yes, he's feeling all of those effects, but he's got the helmet on, his head down, and it's time to go.
It's time to go, and Jeremy, you know, it's amazing. Adrenaline is great medicine, isn't it? And obviously it'll get him through this race. He's got a baggers race coming up later. There you see the 62, the KTM and DeBrino, and watch for that green Energica e-bike from Stefano Mesa starting in that 5th spot. He gets great starts because of the instant torque of that machine. There he is, history making, we think, podium, 2nd place finish for an e-bike up against the ice bikes, maybe globally.
Yeah, it was incredible to see Stefano step it up yesterday, and he was gifted the second, but man, incredible to see an electric bike do the job yesterday. And Stefano riding that thing at the limit too as well. You know, it's a heavier bike. We'll see how he does today.
All right, here we go. Watch for those lights to come on. You know the drill. When they go off, we go racing. Revs are up. Season finale. Super Hooligans were green. Didn't look like Tyler got the best of the starts. Is that going to be DeBrino from the outside, able to roll speed? That outside line in often gives you a little bit better speed. He's there, still side by side, out and down into turn 1. Guess who? Stefano Mesa. Middle of the 2nd row, into the lead once again. Can he hold it here? No. Tyler O'Hare knifes down to the inside, but again, what another incredible launch by Stefano Mesa in that Energica e-bike.
What a start. I mean, this guy just has magical starts. I mean, it's the torque of that e-bike and the way it gets off the line is just incredible.
You see DeBrino right there, sitting now back in that 4th spot, right behind McWilliams. McWilliams in that first race yesterday, the first start, had an off start and ended up he and Stefano touched. This time getting off the line a little bit cleaner here. And DeBrino hunting on the back of McWilliams right now. Stefano hunting on the back of Tyler O'Hara. And this is where we saw, obviously, Stefano with some of the bikes, these two Indians in particular, he'd lose a little bit, but he was able to outpace the other bikes down this backstretch. That's huge leaps and bounds for that bike.
Yeah. You got to wonder what screws they can actually turn on that thing.
All right, look at Stefano working the outside, DeBrino there as well. And Roger, just impressive what we're seeing from Mesa.
Not only that, but also Larry Pegram,
yeah.
7th on the grid. Now you can see him there, right there toward the end of that top 5. So another guy that could kind of spoil the party here this weekend.
Larry hasn't got too many fast laps around the track this weekend, that issue that we've had. So this is really Larry's first time being up to speed is in this race.
See if these 5 can keep the grouping together and see if DeBrino and DeBrino, Mesa, those guys, a little bit of a deficit in terms of straight line speed to those two Indians, but in the twisty bits, those bikes get the job done. And here we come, completing lap number 1 of 6, down into this final turn. Look at DeBrino taking a look at the inside of Mesa. Mesa shutting the door, and here we go. Out of the last turn, DeBrino trying to run the outside line here, and across the line they come. And now DeBrino takes a look to the inside of Mesa, heading up into turn 1. He's got position, Roger.
Just was able to get a really good run out of that last corner and use that draft. That's still the front straightaway is pretty long here. You can get a good draft, and all you got to do is get back up the inside there. But you can see DeBrino's trying to fight back.
Yep, and DeBrino running a little wide. He got that great run in there and then floated wide. And Mesa wasting no time and jumping right back into 3rd. DeBrino right there. You can just see Pegram right at the back of that group. Here comes DeBrino trying to work the outside line. Dives to the inside of Mesa, but floats wide. Mesa squares up underneath. Can't get that pass done there. Now Mesa going to try the over-under, and DeBrino covers it through the exit at 9, and now this fast downhill sweeper.
You know, Andy told me he's having issues with the clutch on the bike this weekend. It's a strange one, so I think, I don't know if it's slipping on top and just not getting the top speed he wants out of that KTM this weekend.
Yeah, he suspected it might be heat-related, interestingly enough, so they're fighting it. Maybe they were able to get that dialed in, and it is a few degrees cooler than it was yesterday, so we'll see if that makes any kind of a difference here. But the top 5 right now have made a little bit of a break, and then A.J. Peasley sitting back in that 6th spot right now, and he's got a comfortable run going in that position.
You got Larry right on the back of that pack. He's going to turn that, possibly turn into a 3-way battle for 3rd.
Well, you know, Larry's got so much experience, obviously, and as he gets more laps in, you know, in that race yesterday, as you pointed out, but now as this bike looks to be running really well, and as he figures it out, and even if the bike's not quite there, he's got so much experience, he can sort of find a ride around, I'd mention, and he's coming.
You know, this is one of the few tracks Larry doesn't have any laps around prior to this weekend. He's got laps around it in a car, he said, but he's never been on this racetrack on a motorcycle before this weekend. That's
pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, all that experience, he's a quick study. And, you know, I think he raced here in a car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I called that race.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember talking to him in the paddock afterwards and going, "Hey, Larry," and because I remember announcing him back in the early 2000s in then AMA, and so I was able to have a nice chat with him and ask him about how it's going. So it's kind of a cool moment here for me as well. But Tyler O'Hara now starting to ease away. And you wonder how much fight Jeremy McWilliams has left in him after that off yesterday. Oh, speaking of offs, he's out of the way, but that bike right in the middle of the track. Yellow flags waving like crazy from those corner marshals. Great job. Riders moving.
That's a red flag.
He's shaken up, and the red flag comes out. And trying to see here. Let's see who might be dropping down the order and not seeing him at this stage, but red flag is out. And this is a 6-lapper, and so I'm not sure. We're at 3rd distance, but will they go back and make it just a complete restart, or will they pick it up? Ah, he's up. He's shaken up, but the number 57, we're getting word, that is Eric Stahl out of Lake Elsinore, California, on the Jiffy Tune Racing, HD Pan America. And
it's kind of a late place to high side, too. He's pretty far down the track. That's strange.
Unless maybe it started at high side on the exit, kind of saved it a couple times, and then
swapped.
Big tank slapper and finally let go on him.
I wonder if they're going to have a replay for us on this one.
Eric was in that B main qualifier, that first qualifier for that second group. He topped that group comfortably, so guy's got some speed, and hate to see it end like this.
Talking about speed, Tyler O'Hara's best lap yesterday, 2:19.0. Today, he's 17.7.
Watching the background. Yep, exactly what you called.
Oh, yeah, and it spun its way back in the middle of the track.
Nice piece of evasive by Jeff Lane on the 72 there. He's a newcomer to the championship here and showing some pretty savvy evasive abilities.
And this last corner has proven tough for these super hooligans. I mean, we saw 3 crashes yesterday in the same corner, and today we see another high side.
This corner has been biting, and you know what? One, it's an incredibly important corner to get that run because you climb that big hill, so you're going to be aggressive and try and get as much throttle as you can. And we may have one more angle on it here, a little higher look at it.
Oh yeah, ouch.
That's very similar to what happened to McWilliams.
Yeah, it was a similar crash for sure.
On the back, just the way the back end came around.
Well, it's pretty late though.
Yeah, it was. It was interesting. So he's shaken up, but he's up, and that's the good news. And now they're going to be out there working on a little bit of cleanup. So we have a red flag at this point. You can see there is some moisture down on the track, which is bound to happen
fuel
here. And the guy that obviously it's good to see that that Eric's up, but McWilliams, all the adrenaline on that sore body from that crash. Now he's just got to sit and let that soak just a little bit here. So that's going to be, I think he's fighting through some stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. You finally worked your way mentally to get back on that motorcycle, and now you got to do and restart.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it's fuel like this or water, you can get those dryers out there, and it'll just evaporate that up. So
in flat track, you just light it on fire.
They pour a little water on it, and then they blow it out like that.
Yeah, dirt. You could do that on dirt. The people that own this place don't probably want to see their pavement ignited. Well, while we're under this red flag,
that's why I'm not out there.
Let's get down to Jamie Howe. What's the word?
Well, as all the bikes make their way to their pit stalls for this, Tyler O'Hara, one of those riders that came in, already been crowned the champion. We looked at lap times from race 1 yesterday. You were 2:19. You were already down to a 2:17 in the race today. Where does this extra pace come from?
Yesterday we had little races to every corner, we were racing each other every corner like a backyard brawl today, just really trying to get a start and hit my marks, run clean laps, and Indian FTR 1200's running awesome. This whole SNS Cycles team's working their butts off, and hats off to all these fans for out here sitting out in the heat. We appreciate you, and just stay relaxed and beat that electric bike up to turn 1.
Very different mindset today for Tyler O'Hara. Greg.
Yeah. Did you guys hear what Tyler just said? Got to relax, stay focused, and beat that e-bike up into turn 1. So that's a huge statement that these Indians are concerned about the launch capability of that e-bike in the hands, obviously, of Stefano Mesa. I do want to make mention here, the 126 of A.J. Peasley will start in the 6th spot and ended up with a wonderful 4th place yesterday. And, one of the best parts, obviously, about any series, certainly this one, are the fans and the young ones in particular. And earlier this morning, I met a couple of absolutely delightful young guys, Drew and Alex. Turns out they are A.J. Peasley's nephews. They were coming to their first ever motorcycle race today, and we're so pumped about seeing Uncle A.J. get out there and run. And so I just wanted to give them a shout out. I know they would want to wish A.J. A really good race here and be able to get after it. And A.J. 6th in this one, has a little work to do, but he was able to do it yesterday and almost cracked that podium. So A.J. Peasley doing a superb job on that KTM.
You know, it's so cool to have your family come out and watch your race.
Yeah.
And when you're a kid and you come out here and your uncle's riding,
I know.
It makes you feel like a hero, you know?
Well, and those are the fans that they become the backbone of the spectators here. Let's get down to Jamie.
We heard that concern about the e-bike. We saw Stefano Mesa at the start of this race. Just the pure torque that this e-bike has. You were able to finish on the podium yesterday. The rest of the field's concerned at this point. What is it they should be afraid of?
Yeah, definitely. This thing gets off the line super good, so super stoked about that. We were able to get the whole shot right out there, so we're gonna go out there and try and hang with the front pack. You know, they're rolling a little bit faster than me. Hopefully, I can find a little bit more speed and hopefully hang with them.
A lot of the riders are curious, you know, and a lot of the fans that are watching, what is it like? What's the difference in an e-bike compared to the rest of the field? What have you noticed as you've gained more experience?
The thing definitely stops much better than the other bikes. I think I make up a lot of my time back on the brakes, but it's a pleasure to ride something that's quiet. You know, you concentrate much more on your riding, and it's much more, not enjoyable, but it's calm. You know, it's something totally different than hearing just a bike screaming all the time. So definitely enjoying the process. The thing, we're making huge improvements with it. So hopefully we can keep it that way and hopefully finish in the podium.
There was concern at the start of the race yesterday, you know, could it make it all the way? Is the heat going to be a factor with the batteries and the way it builds its energy? Having these red flags both yesterday and today, having a chance to come in, cool it off, plug it back in, recharge it, how helpful is that?
Yeah, actually, I think a red flag's worse for us because it could add laps for us. So yesterday we were all good with the battery, everything worked flawless. So hopefully today it does the same and we can finish the race up there.
All right, I'll let you continue to cool off. That's Stefano Mesa. Greg?
All right, thanks, Jamie. About 3.5 minutes until we go back, and it just came up on our board. There will be 3 laps to go. So in this case, it's not more laps. It's actually 1 less, and with all that power being regenerated back into that battery, maybe this time it will pay off. They've done everything they can to clean that and get it to go. A little bit down there. It's hot enough out there. That might still just evaporate off in this next bit of time. Obviously, people will be paying attention to that as we get going again. Let's talk Larry Pegram at this stage. You know, that first chunk, he was able to go out and learn a lot after struggling. Now they get a moment to, you know, to regroup a little bit here. This could be big for him.
Yeah, when you don't have a chance to make any changes when you're riding the bike at speed, you know, you just you're getting what you get. So now he's got an opportunity to come in, and if he wants to change something, he can change something. But you could see his lap times are already getting in the 19s. I wouldn't be surprised if he could drop, maybe do an 18. Well, we only got 3 laps.
Right.
So maybe not. But, you know, I think he has an opportunity to finish on the box today.
All right, and the highest placed BMW on the starting lineup, Nate Kern on the number 9. Jamie's found him.
Yes, and for Nate Kern, he's been fighting inside of the top 10. We're going to get back out there. There's 3 laps that you're going to get to fight with. Knowing now what the competition is like in this heat on this day, what do you have to focus on?
Well, unfortunately, we made a big step overnight, but we have to make a game time decision right now because the clutch is slipping, and that's not overly fair to the competition and myself. So I think on the warm-up lap, I'll take it easy and see how it feels. But again, everybody's safety means more to me than just putting around in 9th. Our 5th place yesterday meant a lot to the team because nobody says our shaft-driven, air-cooled BMW can run up front with liquid-cooled, chain-driven bikes.
All right, we'll see some sportsmanship and some big decisions to come. We'll see what happens when we get back to the green. Greg?
Yeah, I mean, that is class act stuff right there, and some absolutely great performance that he was able to put in here. And you know what, we talked yesterday about, you know, this offers the opportunity for local riders to come out and run. Well, it also offers opportunities for local sponsors. And he's from Georgia, but he was able to align a sponsorship, BMW of the Rio Grande Valley, to be a part of it. So it's really cool how this series just is so diverse and welcoming.
Oh, we got twins of all types out there.
Yeah, you do.
Twins, our parallel twins, inline twins, you know. It's just a big variety of bikes, and that's what makes the class so special. The variety of the bikes, and it brings out a different fan base as well.
It does.
You know, I think that Super Hooligans are really nice bolt-on with baggers. And we're bringing this V-twin community out here, and these guys like to spend money on their bikes. They like to spend money on 2 wheels, and they like to spend money coming out and enjoying a place like Coda. You know, a little hotter than we want it to be this weekend. We hadn't planned on that, well,
and you know, one of the really cool things was in that B main, the guy who finished second talked about. He said, "I bought my first bike ever 3 years ago. this Harley. And I just finished on the podium at Circuit of the Americas. Talk about a sales pitch for Super Hooligans as the bikes come out. Let's take a look at the highlights thus far in this shortened race. Once again, there you see Stefano Mesa, that great launch, leads down into turn 2, getting the jump on Tyler O'Hara. Tyler able to scoot through here, but Stefano continuing that good run. Jeremy McWilliams would be able to get by on him as well. And Jeremy, boy, is he fighting the good fight here. You can see DeBrino right there coming after him, and Stefano not letting him have it. Then DeBrino coming up the inside, but tightens that entry, floats a little wide, and the great drive out on that e-bike, that Energica, got him going. But then you can see that move there by DeBrino, and Stefano fighting back again. I think this battle for this final podium spot is going to be superb. And then this big off here by Eric Stahl on the number 57, and that brought out the red flag. And he was shaken up a little bit, but eventually was able to stand up and walk off to the side. And you mentioned it, Roland. This corner, this last turn here, the Super Hooligans, yeah, seems to be the kryptonite for this class here.
Yep.
And
oh man, you got the weak knees walking off too. You're just like, come over, just lean on the air fence, take a little nap on the air fence.
Yep. And recover. So we had the red flag. The bike's out now, and it will be the original lineup. So it'll be O'Hara, McWilliams, DeBrino in the front row, Wes Mesa, and AJ Peasley. Drew and Alex going to be pumped about him getting a chance to restart there in that second row. Pegram, Price, Duffy, and we'll see if Nate Kern makes the start. Look at that heat haze. That gives you an idea of just how warm it is out there. And it's cooler today than it has been the last two. Not a lot, but anything kind of helps here. But it is toasty.
You got to wonder now, Jeremy. You know, sometimes something like this happens. You come back in, you sit in the pits again. Maybe you get readjusted and might twist the throttle a little harder this one. Give Tyler a fight.
There's two ways to go with it, right?
Yeah.
You just sort of get overcome with suddenly the adrenaline's down and you just go, I got nothing.
Yep.
Or you just go, damn it, I'm coming right now. We're getting this done.
One thing he's got to do is, with only 3 laps now, though, he has to get a good start. I don't think with 3 laps you can come from 4th or 5th the way Tyler's riding, especially if he can do 2:16, 2:17s like he was doing in that race.
Yeah, that's a great point. And with the way Mesa is launching and able to stick with him a lot better than we've seen in the past. There's a lot going on. And the obvious thing here is Corey West. He's been able to get some absolutely honking starts as well. So you never know.
Yep.
That's part of the fun of all of this. But real quick, as they're coming up, in only its second year, you had a grid here of what, some 48 bikes? You had
40. I think we have 47 riders.
47. You had to go into 2 groups. This series has blown up, and it is really cool. And one of the things I noticed, the last guy consistently up to his spot is Mesa. And I think it's because he's going around there as absolutely slow as he can to use as little energy as he can on his way up there. We just got word, Nate Kern, talk about sportsmanship. That clutch apparently still slipping. He's pitted. He's parked it. He wants to keep all the riders that might be behind him safe.
Well, this, as hot as it is this week, it's really testing the equipment. Yeah. Obviously, we're seeing it with a lot of clutch issues, with DeBrino having clutch issues as well. It's just, where were we, 102 today?
Yeah, that's where we're supposed to get up to, is about 102. All right, there he is, Mesa in position. 3 laps to wrap up the championship season for Super Hooligan National Championship. Bikes are ready. Watch for those lights. They're on, revs are up. We're green, 3 to go in this season. And what happens up? Look at Mesa up the inside. McWilliams getting a great start, but look at Tyler this time around the outside. And McWilliams, that great start, Roger, looked like that was huge in terms of parking Stefano a little bit.
Yeah, you can see as soon as he got off the line, he went straight left, going to make him try to go the long way around. You see Stefano, though, trying to make a pass early, but you can see Jeremy knows there's only a couple laps left, and you can see he really got a good start.
Yeah, he did. And, for a minute there when Stefano killed his momentum, DeBrino thought about it. DeBrino getting a great run around the outside up into turn number 7, now up into 8. DeBrino, I think, is through into 3rd and going to go immediately after McWilliams.
And also, second and third in the championship is going to be decided in this race between Jeremy McWilliams and Andy DeBrino. So this is a huge battle for those two guys.
Yeah, they're dead even right now, so whoever finishes up front gets it, right, Roger?
Yep.
And so DeBrino, well motivated, as is McWilliams. He'd sure like to make it a 1-2 for the Indian boys in the points. And DeBrino would love nothing more than to split them up. But there you can see just that straight line speed advantage of that big thumping Indian. DeBrino's going to have to get it done, Roland. He really needs to lead into turn one at some point. Oh, Larry looking racy and gets down underneath. Stefano Mesa
coming through on the Energico. That FTRs, they make quite a bit of horsepower.
Yeah, they got some speed, no question about that. And Larry's got to be loving. Obviously you guys and the team fought through whatever the issues were and have given him a bike that he can race right now. And when you have a team that really is struggling in these crews in this heat, working on the bikes. From a rider's perspective, the best reward you can give them is to just ride the wheels off that thing, and that's how Pegram works.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the team busted their asses this weekend to try and get these things where they needed to go, and it's not always easy. Well, they say if it's easy, everybody would do it, right?
Exactly.
So
if the race finished like it is right now, that would be your points. McWilliams would lock down second in the points. So DeBrino is going to do everything he can right now. And I'm looking at some lap times here. And A.J. Peasley, he just put together a 34.8. So he's starting to find a little speed. And he's not losing anything to Stefano Mesa right now. Down the hill we go once again. And McWilliams, Roger, he's staying within a second of Tyler O'Hara. He has given it some.
He's trying, but you can just watch the screen and see how hard Tyler O'Hara is pushing that bike and just how good he is through there. And Andy DeBrino, I think in this first sector, the KTM really changes directions really well. And I think for Jeremy McWilliams being a little sore that first part of the track, it's going to be hard after that big crash yesterday.
Oh, that's a great point. It's so physical through those S's and the way he's feeling. And, for Tyler, he's got nothing to lose. He's already champ, so he can just let her fly here. But this is going to be a great race. And DeBrino, he's got to find a way to have a nice lead by the time they get to 11 over McWilliams.
Well, he's definitely got the motivation having that championship up for grabs. I mean, that's it. Second and third right there.
Yeah, and you can see him open that entry into 11 a little bit, trying to get some really solid pace down that back straight, Roger.
Yeah, and just able to get a good drive out of that last corner as well, turn 11. Jeremy McWilliams, a guy like him with all the experience that he has and a good rider, he knows how important that last corner is here, getting that good run out of turn 11, just carrying that speed. So for him, I think he knows he probably can hear Andy DeBrino and knows that he wants to get that title. I think he's just kind of pacing himself right now to end up second in the points for the team. But like you said, there's nothing more Andy DeBrino wants to do than spoil that first and second party.
Yeah, absolutely. And boy, I tell you, you can see it from 1 all the way to 11. He is definitely quicker than McWilliams, but that Indian handles real well on the straights, as they've said before here. And I want to update everybody. We talked about the great qualifying effort by Corey West and the starts he's had often this year. He broke his wrist in that off yesterday, and that's why he's absent from this race. I just got that update. I was wondering, as the white flag comes out for champion-elect Tyler O'Hara, why we weren't seeing Corey out there, and that's the answer. So that's a real tough break. Obviously, Patricia Fernandez-West out there running and representing Team Saddleman, sitting in 16th spot right now on her number 87. But now let's watch. Is there anything DeBrino can do? A pretty big deficit there to McWilliams, about 0.8 of a second, Roger, at the line.
Yeah, so he's had to find a lot. This is the part of the track last lap we've seen where he was able to make up a lot of time. And when he catches Jeremy, he needs to make a pass right away and try to kind of get him a little bit flustered, maybe force him into a mistake.
Have to stand him up, get him off line, slow him to anything he can, yeah. But Tyler, he won the championship yesterday, but you'd love to win, wrap up the season with a win. But look at DeBrino, man, he made up all of that. But he's got to do something just crazy aggressive here down into 11 on this last lap. He's just not close enough.
Yeah, he's not
just
close
wasn't
enough.
there.
Not close enough. And that, I mean, the FTR's just got such good top end as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the KTM's a smaller CC bike, and we're looking at 1200 cc's versus the 890. The Scalpel may not have it here at Road America.
Yeah, it's not DeBrino, not for lack of effort, certainly not for lack of talent. There you can see Pegram, though. Pegram keeps closing it up a little bit on DeBrino because he's on one of those too, so he gets after him here. See if he does anything in the background. No, wasn't able to get through on DeBrino in 12. So here we go. Last time through the stadium here, up into this tricky turn, 14, 15. Radius tightens up on the exit. You can't overshoot it. Nice job by Tyler, Jeremy, DeBrino, Pegram. And here we go. Last time for these guys through this triple apex right-hander. Great corner sequence. Falls away right down here. And Tyler on rails down through here. On the brakes. Not much of a lift down there in 19. Now into 20. He looks back. He's got room. He is going to be the champion with a big win in the final race of the season. O'Hara looks back. Here he comes and looks back, gives a fist bump to the 99 of McWilliams. It is an Indian 1-2 with Andy DeBrino third. Tyler O'Hara a win and confirming his championship for Indian.
Mission Super Hooligan National Championship coverage is brought to you by Mission Foods, the world's leading brand for tortillas and wraps. By Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series. And by Roland Sands Design, built for the ride. Go to RolandSands.com.
And there they are. Well, there he is at this point. Your winner, your champion. And what a weekend he's had. And the interesting thing is you have to wonder because you look at what Jeremy McWilliams was doing with Tyler in that battle in race one before that off. And it makes you wonder, obviously, what did he have in hand had he been healthy to be able to get after Tyler in this one?
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing is the big crash Jeremy McWilliams had yesterday and coming back from that. I mean, that was a really – I mean, you don't see very many crashes much bigger than the one Jeremy McWilliams took yesterday. He showed the pace, and I think today just kind of coming out and championship's over. Let's wrap it up for the team. Did what he wanted to do today. And if he felt better, I think he would have pushed. But I just think after that big crash yesterday, it's amazing he's even out there, honestly.
I agree. That just blows me away. And, again, we hate to keep, mentioning it, but he's not, a teenager out there. And he just rebounded from that as if he was, and that says an awful lot about him. Andy DeBrino, man, he gave it everything he could to try and steal that second in the championship away. What a rebound for Larry Pegram after all the issues that they were dealing with to be able to fight back and put that one up on the fourth place. Mesa, another top five. And how proud are Drew and Alec going to be about A.J. Peasley, a fourth and a sixth for Uncle A.J. That's pretty cool here. And the field now easing around. You can see Tyler celebrating a little bit. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here. And that first start was amazing. And again, it was Stefano Mesa just able to get that bike rolling here. And Tyler able to sneak through, obviously. Jeremy sitting right there in that third spot early.
Yeah, you can see, Tyler was really trying to get his head down early. And here on the back straightaway, Jeremy McWilliams, not the greatest start again, but was able to get himself into second pretty quick.
And then this battle between the Energica of Mesa, DeBrino getting through, but then he was in so tight, ran his exit. He had to slow up on the exit, and Mesa going back through, but then DeBrino making it stick here. A little wide there as well, but was able to have that position into this sequence of S's. And then this huge off by Eric Stahl, and rattled his world, no question about it, brought out the red flag. And that lined us up with another restart. Not quite as good by Mason. Matter of fact, it was McWilliams sort of took Mace's line away. And first thing it did is it allowed Tyler to just leap away, and it let DeBrino through on Mesa as well.
Yeah, you can see Andy there trying to chase down Jeremy McWilliams there. And Larry Pegram last lap was quicker than a couple guys in front of him. So if he had a little more practice this weekend, could have maybe been up there a couple spots.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Here are your results. You can see the margin at the end, 1.7 for Tyler over teammate McWilliams. And then DeBrino there in third, Pegram fourth, Mesa in fifth, Peasley in sixth, Duffy, Kyle Onsort. And just to make a point about that, Kyle Onsort, folks, started 45th. And so what a comeback through the field for him with Josh Baird rounding out your top 9. What a ride by Onsort. And then we take a look at the points, and here's how it ends up. Tyler O'Hara, your champion. McWilliams second. DeBrino only 4 points back in third. It was that close, Roger.
Yep, and all year it's been really close, and some of the best races we've seen all year. So I can't wait. We've seen how much this class has grown this year.
Yep.
Can't wait to see what happens next year.
Oh, it just keeps growing by leaps and bounds here. And there's rumor that there might be just a separate category for the V-Twin Air-Cooled Championship. We'll see if that happens and the like, but Tyler O'Hara, lots of celebrating going on. He already was awarded the #1 plate yesterday, and the folks there are just reminding him of that, going, yeah, you're still champ here. Let's get down to Jamie.
And as Tyler O'Hara gets his gloves off, that they're waiting for him. The helmet's still on his head, putting an exclamation point on this championship, his 5th win to close out the 2023 Mission Food Super Hooligan National Championship, brought to you by Roland Sanders. Tyler, you had to fight through ups and downs, and there are a lot of things that you were able to overcome. Think back on this season. What stands out to you?
Oh, just learning every session, working with the engineers and everybody on the team, developing these motorcycles and pushing myself every time I'm out on track, and just doing my best. No matter what, do my best, and I can sleep at night. And it's been a good run, and this Indian FTR 1200 is such an awesome motorcycle. A big shout out to our partners, Progressive, Parts Unlimited, Drag Specialties, Mission Foods, Medallia, SNS Cycles. These boys have been working their butts off, and Alpine Star for keeping me safe. I had a couple big ones this weekend, and it's my beautiful wife and support system back at home. Everyone at Sonoma that I train with, we beat each other up every Monday. Appreciate it. All you fans for coming out. Couldn't do it without you guys. Everyone at MotoAmerica, hats off to DeBrino. And awesome all year, keeping us honest, pushing us. And Jeremy McWilliams, what can I say? He's the salt of the earth. He's a lovely guy, and he makes me better, and he's a warrior.
Congratulations on a winning weekend and a winning season, Greg.
Yeah, he's a warrior. That's a great way to put it. The warrior. I've said it. These guys are gladiators out there, and Jeremy McWilliams, wow, just the fact that he was able to get out there and race is amazing in and of itself here. All right, folks, next race is our Super Sport race #2 on this weekend. Coverage already in progress, so let's join Greg White, Jason Pridmore, and Hannah Lopa for the